tour to the northeastern part of Oklahoma, we wanted to bring you by Greenleaf Nursery. This is one of the largest container nurseries, and we wanted to give you an idea of where some of the plants come from that we buy at our garden centers. Well, we're here with Terrell Cameron. Hello, Terrell.
Hey,
welcome to the program.
You bet. It's good to be here.
And Terrell, this is a huge place. How many acres comprise this particular area of Greenleaf Nursery?
A little over 600 acres at this particular location. Some of that would be roads, but about 600, a little over 600 acres actually in production with plants on it.
Okay, and you guys have the distinction of being the largest nursery shipping from a single location or something to that effect?
That's what I'm told. That information gets a little bit foggy, but at this particular point I'm under the impression that we ship more product from one single location than any other nursery in the world.
Okay, that's quite impressive. Here in northeastern Oklahoma, just south of Tahlequah, on Highway 82, here near the Illinois River.
Sure, it's what is that? Okie Ingenuity.
Okay,
we can get them out of here.
Beautiful part of the state too. And Greenleaf also has some other growing areas in different states.
We do.
Here in Oklahoma,
we're proud of those. We have one. The closest one to us would be our Hidden Lake location, about 500 acres over there. That's actually a bare root facility where we grow the majority of our trees. More and more of our shrubs. We'll start those out lined out in the field. We'll dig those, bring them over bare root, store them in one of our cold storage facilities, and then pot those up in the late winter, early fall. Bring those out, put them in the block, and then finish them in a container. We are a container grown nursery, and ship those out then as a container plant. We also have about a 600 acre nursery in El Campo, Texas, in the Houston area. And then we have Tarboro, North Carolina, our newest facility. We have about 500 acres there. Last I heard we had maybe about 100 acres in production, somewhere in there, and it's continuing to grow. We're proud of that.
Okay, a lot of growing area. Well, this area is certainly impressive, and I just like to kind of let people know some of the stages the plants go through. You guys, of course, are wholesale, and you mentioned that you guys are pretty much strictly a container nursery. You don't have things out in the ground or anything like that.
Yeah, the container business is I think it allows us some flexibility, and with today's market, that's where it all is.
Okay,
you know, you've got to be able to pick it up and put it in your car.
Okay, and we look at across all these fields, everything's in a pot.
Everything is in a pot, and it's really amazing when you think about it. I'm not even going to render a guess as to how many plants are out there. It's in the millions.
In the millions. Well, that's impressive. Well, this area, you've got a lot of small cold frames, and this is where it all begins. This is sort of the propagation area.
This is where it begins. We'll go out basically all of our plants, because we do have named cultivars, variety specific. Pretty much rules out seed on the vast majority of things. So that plant has to be a clone. I'm sure you're familiar with that. It has to be taken from a cutting or a division. And most of our things are done from cutting. In this particular quantity is barberry, Rosy Glow barberry, I believe. And
as a hybrid, it can't be grown from seed, so
there you are. So we have to have a cutting, which is labor intensive, but it's a little hard to see. It's crammed full.
Lots of baby plants.
Lots of baby plants. Each one of those were taken from a cutting, treated with a growth hormone, a rooting hormone, and allowed to root.
Okay, and you think there's probably 40,000 little plants in there?
I think so. I wish I had a firm number for you, but let me bring one of these out for you.
Okay.
And you can see it actually starting to root.
Yeah.
That was actually the cutting there. We went out and took that cutting, put that on mist, treated it here with the rooting hormone, and now it's beginning to root, and that will be a clone of its parent plant.
Okay. Lots of barberries in there. Okay, you see the moisture on there from the mist system.
Have that on mist. Keep that from drying out, from any desiccation going on, and keep that thing going in the right direction.
Okay, so once there are sufficient roots on those cuttings, what do we do with those after that, Terrell?
Most of our things would be from there might be taken out and planted bare root directly. With the barberry, we'll take and pot those in a smaller pot. Let them go ahead and establish in that pot a little bit, and then from there we'll take it out and plant it in the field. And this particular Quonset here is 78. You can see where that's going to be in the next step. I believe this is actually compact crimson. That was rosy glow, but we'll follow a pretty much the same type deal. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll go in that pot, and you can see at that point the roots have really well established themselves. And we'll take it from that pot and put it into, say, a 1 gallon container or larger, and grow that on for our customers.
Okay. Well, you can see them here in these small Quonsets, growing in these small pots. And let's go take a look at some of the other houses with the bigger pots.
Sure, we can do that. We've got some large greenhouse ranges up on the hill.
Well, Terrell, you guys have several 1 gallon barberry plants here. They're not the red leaf variety, but this is a nice gold one.
Sure, yeah. This is a gold variety, just real similar to the red. A little bit different growth habit as they mature. And we do have a lot of the red out in the field, but this gold one is a good plant. We grow a lot of them. Works well in a lot of the landscapes.
Okay, and these are here for, you said about 2 seasons or 2 years?
About 2 seasons. We'll grow them the first season can to can, and then we'll shear them somehow. They're can to can. We want to look for that quality. We've got to get that thing rooted. We've got to get it well established in that can, and then we have to work on the body of the plant, what's above the soil as well. We want to give that nice full-bodied plant that most people are looking for.
Okay. What sort of treatments do you guys do to these plants out here?
We try to stay with the integrated pest management system. A lot of people are familiar with that. We'll send scouts through. They'll scout the entire nursery. They'll be in one section of the nursery one day and one the next. They'll carry a little Palm Pilot type computer with them, and they'll enter in blocks. The nursery is divided into blocks. The pest that they actually spot will have a code, and they'll enter that, and then that's passed on to our pest management supervisor. He and his crew do an awesome job. They'll come in and take that report and just treat where we need to treat for the most part.
Okay, so you're not wasting a lot of pesticides.
Not wasting a lot of pesticide, and a lot easier just on the environment.
Okay, and as far as fertilizing goes, you guys incorporate a fertilizer?
We do incorporate. Most of our fertilizers are incorporated right into the media at the time we fill the cans, and most of it will last a year. There's a lot of 18-month product. We have our own soil testing facilities, our own soil lab. We'll come out in the field, take samples, take that down to our lab, and we'll monitor that fertility. And if it begins to fall, we can spruce that up a little bit. We can come in and top dress some more of the resin-coated slow release type fertilizers and get that boosted up.
Okay, so easy to take care of it while the plant's growing.
It is, and really helps reduce your fertilizer runoff too. It's been a great thing, the resin-coated fertilizer.
All right, and you talked about shearing the plants, and right over here you've got a machine that helps take care of that for you.
Yeah, this is one of our older machines. We have some even older than this. As the nursery grew, the evolution of how to keep all these plants sheared and maintain that body would be a show in and of itself, probably.
Always changing.
Marvin Fusen and Luther and several of our other employees, those are some of our longtime supervisors, really worked hard and designed these machines. This is pretty much the same design they came up with years ago, just updated technology. Aluminum makes it easier to push, and what this really does is it really helps us with our predictable quality. That's what we try to base our reputation on, is that we're going to send you 100 plants and they're all going to be lookalikes. And the quality is going to be high. And by setting the height on this, these handles will actually raise this machine up and down.
Okay.
There are tape measures on the side so that it's level. We'll push this over the plant, and every plant gets sheared at the exact same height.
Okay, so that has sort of a lawnmower blade type of
pretty much just a lawnmower blade. We built our own housing and our own bearings and set that up for, these things will run 8-10 hours a day for large portions of the year.
Cutting those plants, keeping them to the size you want. Okay.
Right, keep them uniform, building that body.
So you guys invent a lot of tools.
We do. We have our own we have our own fabrication shop and welding shop, and they build the majority of our tools.
Okay. Well, Terrell, you guys grow a number of really popular landscape plants, and I know this is one of them. This is one of your popular new hydrangeas.
That is one of the probably the most popular hydrangea in the United States at this time, and that is well deserved. This is an awesome plant.
Endless summer.
Endless summer. The fact that this plant has the ability to rebloom. Most of the hydrangeas that you and I grew up with and have been familiar with, and everyone else, you get in our part of the country, you're going to get some blooms in June, and then it's over. It's a big green bushy plant. Still has some nice foliage, but this one will actually continue to bloom through the summer.
Blooms on new wood.
Blooms on new wood, exactly right. So we can come through and shear these plants, continue to build that body, and not have to worry about losing those blooms. If we've got a few weeks, we're going to get some more blooms.
Okay, so endless summer hydrangea. You guys also grow a lot of the knockout roses.
The knockout rose is another notable plant. What I've learned with a lot of these plants, and it's so neat to see, is that the information is there now where people can look at some of the Oklahoma proven varieties, watch your show, read some of the magazines and things like that, Southern Living, Home and Garden, and see these plants come on. And there's really, some of the garden writers are doing a good job. Knockout rose is a tremendous rose. It's disease tolerance. A lot of people worry about black spot and that type. Its disease tolerance is very high. It's a simple rose to grow, and will literally just bloom all summer.
I agree with you. That rose has got more people growing roses, I think, than any other rose before it.
Yeah, it's boosting a lot of people's confidence.
All right, let's take a look at some more of those interesting plants.
Sure.
Well, Terrell, this is certainly an attractive area. You've got kind of a mosaic of color with all the different plants in these blocks out here, and it's really breathtaking to be out here and just to see all these plants that are getting ready to be sold to a garden center somewhere. And I was just curious, where all do you guys offer your plants? Where all do they go?
We cover such a vast area, and it makes growing a challenge, growing plants for such a large area, but we cover everything east of the Rockies. Everything east of the Rockies. So that means we're growing zone 3 things, as well as some zone 5, or going on down into zone 8.
All right, so big area. And several different sizes of containers, several different sizes of plants.
We do. We offer everything from the 1 gallon size container right on up through the 2s, 3s, 5s. We go on into 7s, 10s, and we're actually expanding even into larger containers now. We have some going into some 20 gallon containers now. Some challenges there for the shipping aspect, but that's what people want, and it's fun because you have so much more time to manipulate that quality and bring that predictable quality out in that larger plant.
Okay, and that is one thing that you guys are known for, just the uniformity of quality plants.
We hope we are. There's a lot of effort. Everyone's focus is toward that. It's our company goal.
All right. Well, I think you do a great job of that. Terrell, right over here, there's sort of a little ditch, and I've seen these all around the nursery, and seen some little rivers of water running through here. Where is all that water going?
This is one of the things that we're really proud of. Any water that travels down this concrete ditch is going to wind up in one of our recycling basins. We recapture 100% of our runoff goes into one of our recycling basins.
That is incredible.
It works really well for us. There's been a lot of expense put into these, but they work really well, and it makes us a little proud.
Well, you guys are definitely doing your part to protect the environment over here. I mean, you just look around the nursery and you see the native vegetation in the adjoining areas is nice and healthy, and you can tell you guys are really being good stewards of the environment, and I guess you guys have even won some awards for this.
We are. We have. Some of the government agencies have issued us some awards in the past, and we were pleased to be able to accept those and put forth that effort. It was a major concentration of our owners to make sure those type of things happen.
Okay, a big investment, and it's definitely paid off with the amount of environmental quality that you guys have here. Well, we started out with the little barberry cutting up there in those propagation houses, and we've got a full-grown plant here, and that's in a pretty good sized container.
That is. This is about 3 years from what we saw in propagation.
Okay.
We can take that. That little pot that we saw, the cutting went to the little pot into the 1 gallon, and the 1 gallon was moved into this 5 gallon and finished off.
Okay. And that is a quality plant.
Next stop is hopefully someone's lawn.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope our viewers today got a good glimpse of where a lot of the plants do come from that end up in the garden centers and the nurseries. A lot of them start out here just down the road from Telepaw.
Really are. It's a local thing that we're glad to be able to have.
Okay, thanks for showing us around Greenleaf Nursery, Terrell.
Appreciate you being here.
Thanks a lot.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.